Hi guys, what's up? In this lecture, we will create rooms and other players will be able to join rooms. So, you will learn how to create and join rooms in Photon. Let's get started. If you look at lobby UI, you will see that we have this join or create random room button. When the user clicks on this button, user will try to join a random room if there is at least one available room. If there is no room whatsoever, then user will create the room itself and join. Let's now write some codes for this mechanism. Open Launch Manager script. Let's create a new public method called joinRandomRoom. So it's really easy to create a room in Photon. Just type Photon network.joinRandomRoom. You see, it's really easy. When this method is called, Photon will try to find a room to join. But what will happen if there is no room at all? It will react to this situation with a callback method. So inside Photon callbacks region, type override and you will see a bunch of callback methods. Just choose onJoinRandom failed. This callback method will be called if the user failed to join a random room. Here, even a string message is returned to help identifying the cause. Let's debug the message to the console. Save the script and back to Unity. Click on Create or Join Random Room button and add an entry to onClick section. Drag and drop Launch Manager and select Join Random Room method as its function. So clear the console and hit the play. Enter the game and now click on Create or Join Random Room button. As you can see, we have this console message that says no match found. It is totally rational since there is no room created yet. Back to script, we now have to create a room if we fail to join a room. Inside onJoinRandomRoom failed, if we fail to join a room, then we will call create and join room method. That was just the method name, so let's create that method now. I will open a new region for private method since this method will be private. So create a new private method named create and join room. Inside that, type Photon network.createRoom. It is again that easy to create a room in Photon. As you can see, it wants some parameters to create room such as roommate and room options. Let's start with room name. Since we will be joining random rooms, I will make the room name also random. Create a string variable called random room name that will be equal to string room and plus random.range. Here I will enter 0 to 10,000. So every time we create a room, a random room name will be generated. Next thing is room options. For that, we need to first import Photon real-time library. Go up and type using photon.realtime. Next, create a room options variable called room options that will be equal to new room options. Here we can specify some room options. For example, type room options dot and you will see that we have some options. So we can set is open to true and is visible to true and we can even set the number of maximum players that this room can handle. So notice that maximum players type is in byte, so we should be careful while using it. I will set the maximum number of players to 20 since Photon only allows 20 users at the same time. Okay, inside create room method, insert room name as random room name. and finally insert room options. So we could specify lobby, but we will use default lobby that will be automatically created in room creation and joining process. So we don't need to do that. It seems we're all set, but how can we understand whether we joined a room or not? So Photon callbacks will save us again. Inside Photon callbacks region, type override and choose onJoinedRoom callback method. As you guess, this method will be called when we join the room. When we join the room, let's write something to the console. Type debug.log photonnetwork.nickname plus join to plus photonnetwork.currentroom.name. In this case, we will be able to see who joins to which room. Let's test it. Save the script and back to Unity. Clear the console and hit the play. Type the name and enter name and press random room button. Yes, first we got no match found message, then we create a room and join that room. You can even see that room name is just a random name. Now I'm really wondering what will happen if another user tries to join a random room. Let's test that now. Back to Launch Manager inside Photon Callbacks region, type override and select onPlayer enter the room callback method. This method is called when a remote player joins the room that we are in. Let's write some information to the console to test it. So type debug.log new player.nickname plus join to photonnetwork.currentroom.name. And let's write the players count also. So type photonnetwork.currentroom.playercounts. That's it. Save the script and back to Unity. Now we need to build a project so that we can open and enter the game with different sessions. Save the scene and click on File, Build Settings. Click on Add Open Scenes and make sure that Game Launcher scene is selected as the main build scene. Then click on Build and Run. Create a folder called Builds and select that folder. Unity will now build a project for Windows or Mac platform. And here we have our game. I will just select a very low screen resolution and then I will click on play. So in Unity Editor, just hit the play. So to be able to see the console messages, Unity Editor will be the one who first click on Join Random Room button. So I will just enter my name as Tevfik. After connection is done, I will press join or create random room. And yes, a room is created as you see. Now it's time to enter the game from standalone Windows app or Mac app. Enter the name as Ufuk, which is my second name by the way. And we'll now press join random room button. And yes, it says Ufuk joined the room. And in the end, you can see 2, which is the player count in that room. So it is definitely working and we did a great job. So that's it for this lecture, guys. To recap, we tried to join a random room, but it failed. Then we get a callback for that situation and we create a room in that case. And then we achieve to gather 2 players at the same room. In the next lecture, we will prepare a game scene that will be loaded once we join the room. See you in the next lecture.